Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really get into things that matter, and today we're looking at this ancient text, but it's got some, well, surprisingly practical ideas for living right now.
It really does. Our source today is the Sevitabbāsevitabbasuttaṃ. It's discourse from the Buddhist scriptures, the Majjhima Nikaya specifically, and it's a really profound look at what we should actively, serve or cultivate in life.
Right.
And just as importantly, what we should consciously avoid, what not to serve.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive, let's try and pull out that wisdom, see how this ancient teaching gives us a kind of framework, maybe, a way to make choices in, well, pretty much every part of life.
Yeah, think of it less like rigid rules and more about understanding consequences, the result of our actions, our words, even, our thoughts. This isn't just some dusty old philosophy.
Yeah.
It's a living guide for navigating your day-to-day.
Okay, so let's unpack this core idea then. The Buddha starts off, just lays it out. He'll explain what to serve and what not to serve, and then bam, 7 key categories right away.
That's right. And he splits them into 2 basic types. Cultivate this, abandon that. And the why is absolutely crucial. If doing something, cultivating something, leads to more unskillful qualities, the Pali term is akusala dhamma,
Akusaladhamma, right.
and fewer skillful qualities, kusala dhamma, then you should avoid it, abandon it.
Okay.
But if it does the opposite, if it reduces the unskillful stuff and increases the skillful,
Then that's what you cultivate.
exactly, that's what you serve. It's all about whether it leads towards well-being or away from it.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. One of his main disciples, Venerable Sāriputta, he just steps right up. It's almost like he's saying, okay, I get this. I can break this down for everyone.
Yeah, it's a great moment in the text. Sāriputta then systematically goes through each of those categories the Buddha mentioned. He explains exactly what kinds of conduct, what kinds of thoughts, perceptions, views, which ones lead to those unskillful results, and which lead to skillful ones. He really fleshes it out.
Okay, let's start where he starts, body conduct. Kaya Samakara, what specific actions are we talking about here, the ones to avoid?
Well, Sāriputta is very clear. On the not-to-be-served list, taking life, being cruel, hurting living beings, basically any kind of violence or harm. Also taking what's not given, theft, essentially, and engaging in sexual misconduct. He specifically mentions relations with people who are protected by family or are already committed.
Right, so that's the avoidance list. What about the flip side? What should we be doing with our bodies, our actions?
It's about consciously abstaining from those very things. So actively choosing not to take life, cultivating kindness, compassion for all beings, not stealing, respecting property, and abstaining from sexual misconduct. It's really about harmlessness and respect in our physical interactions, being mindful of our impact.
Got it. Okay, next up. Speech conduct. Bakisa Makarai. This feels, wow, incredibly relevant today, doesn't it? All the ways we communicate.
Oh, absolutely. What we say, how we say it.
Yeah.
Sāriputta details 4 kinds of speech to avoid.
4 kinds, okay.
First, lying. Musavadi. And that's not just like in court. It's any kind of deliberate falsehood, whether in public, in private, for your own gain or someone else's. Second, divisive speech. Pasubako. That's, hearing something from one group and repeating it to another to cause trouble, or just generally enjoying creating discord.
Ooh, yeah, we see that.
Third, harsh speech. Farasavako. This is abusive language, rude words, things said in anger meant to hurt or provoke.
Right.
And finally, number 4 is idle chatter. Samphapalapi. He describes this as talk that's untimely, maybe untrue, definitely meaningless, just purposeless chatter that doesn't benefit anyone.
Okay, so that's a lot to avoid. What's the speech we should be cultivating? The skillful kind.
Precisely the opposite of those 4. So instead of lying, speak truthfully, always. Commit to truth.
Okay.
Instead of divisive speech, actively work for reconciliation. Promote harmony. Speak in ways that bring people together.
Nice.
Instead of harsh speech, use gentle words. Pleasant, agreeable speech that, as the text says, touches the heart. Kind words.
Touches the heart. I like that.
And finally, instead of idle chatter, speak at the right time. Speak truthfully. Speak purposefully. Speak about things that have meaning and value. Think about how much of our day involves communication. Imagine the difference if we were mindful of this.
It's huge. Absolutely huge. Okay, let's move inward now to mind conduct. Manosamakara, what's going on in our heads that we need to watch out for?
Well, Sāriputta highlights 2 main unskillful states of mind here. First is covetousness.
Abhijalu.
Yeah, that's basically looking at someone else's stuff, their possessions, their success, whatever, and thinking, I wish that were mine. That strong wanting.
Right. comparison culture fuels that.
Totally. And the second one is ill will or malice. Babanachito, badabanasakapo. This is more than just being annoyed. This is actively wishing harm on others, thinking things like, may they be destroyed, may they suffer. It's that real negative, harmful intention.
Wow, that's pretty intense. So what's the antidote? What should we cultivate in our minds instead?
Non-covetousness and goodwill. Simple but profound. Non-covetousness means not craving what others have, finding contentment. And goodwill, abhepada, means actively cultivating thoughts of non-malice, intentionally wishing beings well. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. It's about directing positive energy mentally.
That takes practice, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. It's a conscious training of the mind.
So then, how do mind states or thoughts Siddhapada and perceptions Sanyapabha fit in? Are they different from mind conduct?
Sāriputta clarifies they're really extensions of mind conduct. Think of mind conduct as the general tendency, the habit of the mind. And thoughts and perceptions are like the specific instances, the moment-to-moment content. So any particular thought or perception that arises that's linked with that covetousness or ill will or harmfulness, that's to be avoided, let go of.
I see.
And conversely, thoughts and perceptions rooted in non-covetousness, non-ill will, non-harmfulness, those are the ones to cultivate, to encourage. Your ongoing thoughts and how you perceive things directly feed your overall mental state and conduct.
Right. It all connects.
Yeah.
So the last one in this inner realm is views, the Appalavapai. This sounds like it's getting into our core beliefs.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And the wrong view, the view to avoid, is basically a kind of nihilism.
Nihilism. How so?
It's denying that things like charity or offerings have any real value or result, denying that good and bad actions actually have consequences, karma. Denying that there's this world or a next world, denying the value of parents, denying that there are beings born spontaneously, or denying that there are genuinely enlightened teachers, ascetics, and Brahmins who actually understand and can teach these truths.
So it's a view that basically says, nothing really matters ethically.
Exactly. It cuts the legs out from under any motivation for skillful living.
So the right view then would be, well, the opposite.
Precisely. Affirming all those things, believing that generosity does matter, that actions do have results, that there's an interconnectedness to existence, that parents are important, that enlightened wisdom exists and is valuable. It's about having a foundational belief system that actually supports skillful action and understanding. Gives you reason why ethics matter.
This framework is just so thorough. It seems to cover everything internal, but then it expands outward, doesn't it? Let's talk about modes of being. Attabhava-palapa, what does that refer to?
Yeah, this is interesting. It refers to sort of how we exist, the quality of our being, or even the kind of existence we might find ourselves in through our actions. Sāriputta uses the same principle. Any mode of being that leads to more unskillful qualities and fewer skillful ones, he calls this sabbipaja, which means like afflicted or troubled. That mode should be avoided.
Okay, afflicted.
But a mode of being that leads to the decrease of unskillful qualities and the increase of skillful ones, avyapaja, unafflicted, peaceful, that's what should be cultivated.
So it implies we're kind of constantly shaping our own state of being through our choices.
That's exactly it. A continuous mindful shaping towards a more wholesome way of existing.
Okay, then the text goes somewhere I didn't quite expect. Sensory objects, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, even mental objects like ideas or memories. How do these fit the serve or not serve model?
It comes back to discernment. It's not about the object itself being inherently good or bad.
You're right.
It's about our relationship to it. Sāriputta says, if seeing a particular sight, hearing a sound, smelling something, tasting something, touching something, or even engaging with a certain thought or idea, if doing that tends to increase your unskillful qualities, maybe greed arises or anger or delusion, and decreases your skillful ones,
then you should avoid engaging with it in that way.
Exactly. Or perhaps avoid the object altogether if that's what's needed. But if engaging with that same sight, sound, taste, whatever, actually leads to positive outcomes, maybe inspiration or calm or understanding, and increases skillful qualities,
then it's something to be cultivated.
Yes.
Engage with it mindfully.
That's fascinating. So practical. You could apply that to, say, the news you consume or the music you listen to.
Absolutely. If you notice something consistently makes you feel agitated or cynical, maybe limit your exposure. If something inspires kindness or clarity, maybe seek it out. It's about watching the effect on your inner state.
And this wisdom, it just keeps expanding and even covers external factors in individuals.
Yes, it does.
You mean like our clothes,
Yeah.
our food, where we live, even the people we hang out with.
Exactly that. Sāriputta applies the very same principle. If associating with certain types of robes, or for us, maybe certain styles of clothes.
Or certain kinds of food, certain dwellings, certain neighborhoods, towns, cities, even specific people.
Yeah.
If that association leads to an increase in your unskillful side and a decrease in your skillful side,
Then steer clear.
then they should be avoided. Or at least the way you associate should be examined. But conversely, if those same things, the environment, the food, the company you keep, if they support your growth, help you cultivate skillful qualities.
Then embrace them. Cultivate those connections.
Yes, it highlights how much our environment and our social circles really impact us. They aren't just passive backdrops, they actively shape us.
Wow. This whole deep dive into the Sevitabbāsevitabbasuttaṃ, it's been quite something. It really is such a comprehensive and systematic guide for living ethically, for growing as a person.
It truly is. It covers so much ground,
Yeah.
from the most subtle thoughts and perceptions,
Yeah.
all the way out to our physical actions, our speech, and yes, even the places we live and the people we choose to be around. It gives you this filter, this way to discern. By consciously choosing what you serve and what you decide not to serve, you're actively sculpting your inner world and your outer circumstances. You're aiming for wisdom and compassion.
And that closing vision in the text is quite powerful, too. This idea that if everyone, leaders and ordinary people alike, really understood and applied this, it would lead to long-term well-being and happiness for absolutely everyone.
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? It shows
Yeah.
the universal potential of these principles. It's like a blueprint for a more skillful, compassionate world, built one choice at a time.
It really is.
So maybe this deep dive encourages you, the listener, just to reflect a bit. As you go about your day today or tomorrow, maybe pick one thing. Could be small. A habit you have online, maybe?
Or a particular relationship, or even just the kind of news or entertainment you consume. And just ask that question. Is this truly serving my skillful side? Is it helping me become the person I aspire to be? Or is it, maybe aludely, maybe not so subtly, feeding qualities I'd actually rather see diminish? The answer, it might be illuminating.